The ancient philosophical system of Stoicism offers profound insights into habits and mindsets that diminish human strength, keeping individuals mired in anger, anxiety, greed, and dissatisfaction. By outlining the 9 critical tendencies most frowned upon within this Grecian tradition, we shed light on self-defeating behaviors that impede tranquility and wisdom. Understanding these counterproductive patterns flags the enemies of resilience early, revealing workarounds that restore self-control and emotional stability. Fundamentally concerned with nurturing virtue inside chaotic exteriors, Stoic ethics prize a clear perception of reality over manipulation. It champions releasing attachments to destructive emotions like wrath and terror that distort our thinking. What we label misfortunes today often proves to be innocuous or even beneficial in the long term. By shifting focus towards self-mastery and erecting inner citadels, no outside siege can penetrate. Followers of Stoicism achieved legendary feats of courage and leadership for centuries. Let's find out 9 habits that keep you weak. A request to you before starting the video: if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe and hit the bell button next to it. Let's start. Number 1. Allowing destructive emotions to control you. Stoics warn strongly against allowing destructive emotions like excessive anger, hatred, jealousy, or grief to override our capacity for rational thought. They viewed bad feelings as temporary madness, believing that giving them free rein led to irrational words and actions against our interests. Instead, they advocated objectivity and self-control even in the face of psychological turmoil. Allowing destructive emotions to rule your mind and dictate your behavior diminishes self-mastery and makes wisdom impossible, according to the Stoic worldview. Number 2. Pursuing pleasure as the highest good. Stoicism also objected to the pursuit of pleasure and self-gratification above all else. Stoics saw virtue, defined as moral excellence, wisdom, and justice, as the highest aim in life rather than the fleeting enjoyment brought by indulgence and entertainment. They warned that people immersed solely in play, luxury, consumption, and amusement often suffer from moral decay and intellectual weakness. While enjoying pleasures in moderation is natural, making it your central goal often impedes the development of strengths like courage, self-discipline, and leadership. Number 3. Seeking external things for happiness. The Stoics also felt that dependence on external things for happiness leads to weakness by making your state of mind vulnerable to factors outside your control. If you place supreme importance on things like wealth and status for your inner tranquility and sense of self-worth, losing them can devastate you psychologically. Stoics developed mental techniques like negative visualization to appreciate what you have without clinging to it. They promoted self-sufficiency and over-reliance on exteriors like fame or reputation to handle better adversities that life invariably brings. Number 4. Blaming others for your feelings. Part of that self-sufficiency includes taking responsibility for your emotions, rather than blaming external triggers like other people's actions. Stoics hold that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we have a choice in how we judge and react to it internally. Blaming people or events for making you angry, scared, or hurt diminishes personal accountability. It gives away your power to alter negative states of mind through reasoned reflection and resilience. This applies even to situations where others act with ethics or compassionately. Number 5. Dwelling on the past. Dwelling excessively on the past also constitutes a form of psychological weakness in Stoicism, making people anxious, regretful, and distracted from the present moment. Of course, you can extract lessons from the past to guide you wisely in the future. But stewing over bygone events long finished or mourning over old injuries and insults for years impedes functioning here and now with poise. It changes nothing about what already occurred, while imposing mental turmoil in the present. Stoics instead say to grant yourself only proportionate grief or anger contain it consciously, and then redirect your focus to the current moment. Number 6. Worrying about the future. While learning intelligently from the past can help plan a wiser future, worrying and ruminating excessively about future uncertainties represents another anti-Stoic habit that diminishes happiness. Since nothing exists yet in the future, except within our imaginations, this often constitutes needless mental suffering imposed by a restless mind projecting fears rather than observing reality. Stoics say that handling our conduct rightly now, according to reason and ethics, is the best preparation for times ahead without mentally living future scenarios constantly. Staying focused on the present with self-command grants more agency than passive worry. Number 7. Avoiding discomfort and difficulty. Another critical habit Stoics avoided as weakening rather than strengthening is insulating yourself from all discomfort, adversity, effort, or hardship. They held voluntary discomfort, hardship, and self-discipline as paths to temperance and resilience against life's inevitable difficulties. Like deprivation training among warriors or athletes, practicing self-denial and pushing your perceived limits increases proficiency at withstanding more significant challenges. Comfort and luxury for Stoics soften people in an unhealthy way if not balanced by exertion, self-restraint, and exposure to some adversity under their control. Number 8. Complaining about your circumstances. Stoics also considered habitual complaining about life's inevitable difficulties an expression of personal weakness and self-pity incompatible with their philosophical mindset. Of course, one can work constructively to repair objectively wrong conditions through ethical, reasoned problem solving. However, they saw excessive bemoaning of things intrinsically beyond total control as fruitless self-torture, rather than the harnessing of reason and inner agency to improve the life around you. In short, vain complaining fixates on problems without crediting an agency to remedy them through courageous or imaginative effort partially. Number 9. Lacking self-discipline and self-control. This avoidance of what seems superficially comfortable or easy all ties back into the Stoic imperative for rigorous self-discipline and self-control as the path to individual sovereignty. If destructive emotions, external dependencies, or irrational thoughts automatically control your state of mind against your interests, you reside in a type of slavery. Stoicism promotes techniques like negative visualization, emotional suppression, deliberate exposure to feared things, and avoiding unhealthy pleasures to master self-discipline. This builds true freedom, liberation from disappointing habits by adhering to the voice of reason within during life's inevitable ups and downs. Case study: overcoming weakness through Stoic principles. Ian was a 35-year-old office manager who felt chronically frustrated, worried, and disappointed despite outward signs of success like a good income and marriage. However, his short temper frequently alienated colleagues, while constant fretting about possible future job losses or health issues made him agitated and sleepless. Deep down, Ian blamed his emotional volatility on a nervous personality he couldn't control, often directing anger about stressful events at his family or employees. He indulged in expensive outings and impulse purchases to alleviate anxiety, but these habits strained his budget. When accolades or promotions went to co-workers, he grew bitter and resentful. Ian dwelled endlessly on past conflicts, yet worried just as much about uncertainties ahead. Through therapy, Ian discovered principles of Stoic philosophy aligned with his desire for more resilience, despite ongoing professional pressures and life uncertainties. This inspired him to stop allowing temporary emotional storms to dictate damaging reactions. Instead, he trained himself through negative visualization to appreciate relationships and employment without clinging to them desperately. Ian also curtailed complaining to focus on ethical solutions within his locus of control. He consciously deferred anxiety-fueled purchases to pay off debts. Anger management techniques empowered more measured, objective responses to frustrating people or events at work. Through this ongoing self-mastery training, Ian found a new calm and self-sufficiency, empowering him to handle workplace adversity once debilitating, and even thrive through self-development. His observation of unhealthy reactive patterns gave way to exercising reasoned choice. Conclusion: the principles of Stoicism outlined in this video reveal why the ancient philosophy focused so intently on self-mastery, virtue development, and resilience. By avoiding destructive emotions, dependencies, and mindsets that diminish agency while proactively building wisdom and self-regulation, we gain inner freedom and resources to overcome life's obstacles. Putting these teachings into practice leads to greater strength, tranquility, and empowerment. Friends, if you resonated with these insights, give this video a thumbs up, share it with those who need it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more empowering content. Thanks for watching.